Let's enter this now. The Umkhonto weSizwe Liberation War veterans have launched a demand for a sweeping overhaul of the Military Veterans Department. Also demands the removal of the DG, Irene Mpolweni, over what it calls the department's failure to deliver on services enshrined in the Military Veterans Act. In a statement, the organization decried what it called demeaning and disrespectful manner in which freedom fighters are treated. Joining us now to outline the nature of their grievances is Umkhonto weSizwe Liberation War veteran member Sello Maake. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time today here on In Focus. I thought, following, of course, that little situation in the meeting where was it an abduction or was it not? But it seems you had settled your differences with the Military Veterans Department, and there was an announcement of a new pension that will now be given to military veterans. What has gone wrong? Why are you angry with the DG?
Thank you very much. Firstly, let me greet your viewers. And in particular, I need to greet commanders and commissars of the glorious army Umkhonto weSizwe. And that I'm here representing MK Liberation War veterans. And that firstly, we were not involved in any kidnapping whatsoever of any person. We went to a conference in May where MKMVA and MKMVA and MK National Council were brought together. Interestingly, to indicate that that conference was held under the auspices of the DMV, the Department of Military Veterans. Now, coming back from the conference, naturally, we wanted to be recognized as a structure, particularly because taxpayers' money was used to take us to a conference in East London. We have been struggling from May to get recognition. That's the first thing, just to get a recognition by the department. We have had meetings with the DG indicating our displeasure at not being recognized. South Africa would also realize that a SAMVA conference, which is an association of all military veterans, has not taken place because we are supposed, the different associations has to be recognized by the department. But mainly, the issues that affect us is that, if you look at Section 5 and Section 3 of the Military Veterans Act 18 of 2011, you would realize that there are benefits that military veterans have to enjoy. And this enjoyment of these rights is not because when we went out of the country, we wanted to come back and be paid. But it is because when the Constitution of the Republic was created, the people of South Africa, in their numbers, indicated that they wanted to recognize the efforts that were given in order to ensure that the country becomes liberated. And that then, culminated in this act that I'm referring to.
Yeah.
One of the most important issues that we are very much, angry, in fact, not necessarily angry, but disturbed about, is that we left our comrades in exile. They died in, ambushes. They are lying elsewhere in Southern Africa. They are lying somewhere in Europe. They are lying somewhere in, Latin America. Now, they have not been brought back. And the families are asking us, when are your comrades coming back? And we are unable to indicate to the families. And the same department, it is the one that is supposed to repatriate the remains of our comrades.
Okay.
Secondly, one other issue which disturbs us very much is the fact that our children are using the bursary scheme of the department.
Yes.
Now, we make applications to the department, and then we get admitted by the department, and our kids go to school, only to realize 1 year, 2 years down the line, you are being sued by lawyers saying you are owing this specific school or that specific school.
Yeah.
Those are the very serious issues that are affecting us. We are therefore calling upon the departmental head, because she's unable to provide us with a comprehensive plan that says this is how I'm going to ensure that I attend to these issues.
All right. Let's take it back a little bit, and we'll wrap it up with all those issues. The first bit is I want to understand the recognition that you're calling for. What are the requirements that you need to fulfill for this recognition? And what type of structure do you want to be recognized as? Is it a voluntary association? Is it a non-profit organization? What do you want to be recognized as?
Okay, in terms of the Act, firstly, the Act recognizes us as individuals.
Yeah.
And therefore we can enjoy benefits from the department as individuals. But it recognizes the fact that we can group ourselves into an association. The first part is that we need to have a constitution. And secondly, there are other requirements like we mustn't, be a divided, military veterans association and or involve ourselves in mercenary activities.
Right. Have you fulfilled all those? Do you have a constitution? Are you organized? Do you have a membership? Do you have ways of operating, leadership, and so on and so forth?
Yes, we do have membership. As I indicated earlier, we went to a conference in East London. The same department came to East London, checked our force numbers so that each and every one of us who was in that conference had a force number. Basically, that's part of the, the checking, the verification process.
Right.
And we must indicate there is also a further displeasure because in terms of detachments from our side, the first detachment is the Lutuli detachment, and the last detachment is the SDUs. Now, basically, most of our comrades who are from this detachment that is called the SDUs are not necessarily recognized by the department.
Right.
But they have been in certain activities, including underground activities. Yeah. And we are saying all these comrades, they participated in the liberation of this country, and that the department has to recognize that. Yeah. You would, understand that the deputy president, having been delegated by the president, who is the patron-in-chief, has been going around the country and saying they are in a process of, what you call verification.
Yes.
But that has not come into an end.
Yeah.
And therefore, even if you say you want to give people pensions, for example, we were supposed to get pensions from the first.
Yeah.
Who are you going to give those pensions to if we have not finalized the verification process?
Right. So are you saying the bottleneck then, therefore, that is the law, is at the fact that as an association you want to include that component of SDUs as part of the association for them to be recognized, and government is in disagreement with you on that?
Not necessarily. Even people who have been in exile as far as the 60s when MK was created, some of them are not necessarily, verified within the system. Now, as I indicated, we have all the necessary detachments from the 60s up to the last detachment. And we are saying all these comrades, because if you worked underground, for example, inside the country, you would then point to your own commander to say, this commander of mine came in to infiltrated the country and he recruited me into a structure or a cell. and therefore I operated within the Republic of South Africa as an underground operative of Umkhonto weSizwe.
Right.
And therefore we are saying those people who operated internally, they need to be recognized, and those people that would have participated in defending communities during those times, and basically they would be concentrated in areas like your Katlehong and Klerksdorp. But if you go to East London or Eastern Cape, you will get Amabuto there.
Yeah.
And these people were given arms by persons of Umkhonto weSizwe in order to defend communities. Those who were around at those times would know how communities were being attacked by either a third force and or whatever other elements tried to attack communities. And those communities were defended by Umkhonto weSizwe.
So the other issue, because we're going to run out of time, you're saying then there's the issue of the bursaries. The last time we had the Deputy Minister here, Thabang Makwetla, raised, for example, the question of verification, which you are raising right now, saying part of the challenge is that there are people who are claiming the bursary who are actually not recognized or verified as MK veterans.
No, those would be departmental issues, and I think Thabang would be best placed to answer them. But I'm talking people that we know who have force numbers, who have taken their children to school, and the department has not paid those school fees. And therefore, these people that we are talking about, these comrades that we are talking about, are verified. And therefore, their children, which is the dependents, they would want to, get, the bursary scheme. I can even indicate, even ourselves, we want to improve our own education. Even ourselves with the force numbers or the ones that are verified, there are comrades who are doing masters in UNISA. They have been struggling to get payments at some point. And I'm not sure as to whether today all of them have been paid in relation to, schooling in that.
And when you inquire, what is the response that you're getting from the department?
All I'm saying, we are not getting a proper answer. And we are very much worried that, some of the fiscus that is within that department goes back to Treasury at the end of the financial year. And we can see the reports, the annual reports. You can go into the annual reports. You can check with Parliament. But there are monies that go back to the fiscus, whereas ourselves, we are struggling. And therefore, it is our belief that, the department, possibly including almost all of the people that are working in that department, are lacking. And therefore, we need professionals there. We need people who would understand our plight as military veterans. And it doesn't mean that amongst ourselves we don't have those people who would be able to run that particular department. But the frustrations that we are having really, and hence we are reporting. Remember, Umkhonto weSizwe is a people's army. And hence we are reporting back to the people that this organization, the owners of the organization, to know how we are being treated.
That is the
owners of MK is the people of South Africa. And therefore, and hence we called ourselves a people's army. And hence we are reporting back to the community the way we are being treated by that specific department. And the frustrations that we are going through.
Let's leave it there for tonight, and I hope the people have heard your frustrations and the treatment that you are raising to be receiving from the Department of Military Veterans. That is Sello Maake, member of the Umkhonto weSizwe Liberation War Veterans, with us there.